April 18, 1943. Over the South Pacific, 18 American P-38 Lightnings skimmed the ocean at 50 feet, engines straining, radio silent. They aren't chasing an enemy fleet, they're hunting a man, the mind behind Pearl Harbor. His name is Admiral Yamamoto, and before the hour ends, he'll be dead. Yamamoto was no anonymous commander. He was Japan's most famous sailor, disciplined, modern-minded, and ruthless when duty required it. He'd studied at Harvard, toured Ford's factories, and played poker with American officers. He understood America's power better than most in Tokyo. Before the war, he warned Japan's leaders, "If I am ordered to fight, I will run wild for 6 months. After that, I can promise nothing." He was right. 6 months after Pearl Harbor came Midway, the loss of 4 Japanese carriers, and the turning of the tide. By the spring of 1943, Yamamoto was trying to hold together a Navy that was losing fuel, pilots, and faith. He planned a frontline inspection of bases in the Solomons to lift morale. A personal visit meant to show Japan's warriors that their commander still believed in victory. He transmitted the schedule over radio, confident the naval cipher JN-25 kept him safe. It didn't. At Pearl Harbor, American cryptanalysts working in windowless rooms decrypted a routine traffic burst, a travel plan marked Yamamoto. It listed takeoff time from Rabaul, escort composition, even landing time at Balali Airfield on Bougainville. Lieutenant Commander Eddie Layton, the Pacific Fleet's intelligence chief, took the sheet straight to Admiral Chester Nimitz. Layton later recalled, "Aside from the Emperor, probably no man in Japan is so important to civilian morale. If he's shot down, it would demoralize the Japanese Navy." Nimitz understood the risk. Acting might reveal the code break, but the opportunity was too perfect. He gave the order, "Execute." The operation was given a name, both biblical and brutal: Operation Vengeance. From Guadalcanal's Henderson Field came the 339th Fighter Squadron, led by Major John W. Mitchell. Their plane of choice, the P-38 Lightning, the only fighter with the range to make the 1,000-mile round trip. Each aircraft carried 2 external drop tanks, one 165-gallon, one 330, giving just enough fuel to get home on fumes. Mitchell drew up a route that would hug the sea, swing wide of Japanese patrols, and intercept the Admiral's flight almost to the minute. No radios, no chatter, just compasses and watches. They would fly at 50 feet, too low for radar, too close to ditch if an engine failed. Before sunrise, the Lightnings lifted off the coral strip, heavy with fuel and silence. For 4 hours, they skimmed the ocean surface, each man alone in a cage of noise and vibration. 2 planes turned back with mechanical trouble. 16 continued. The ocean stretched endless and empty. At 9:34 local time, Mitchell's voice broke radio silence for the first time. "Bogies, 11 o'clock." Specks glinted in the sunlight. 2 twin-engine Betty bombers with 60 escorts. Exactly as the decrypted message had promised. Yamamoto was right on schedule. 4 Lightnings peeled off as the attack flight. The rest climbed to hold off the Zeros. Major Thomas Lanphier and Lieutenant Rex Barber rolled into their dives. The Bettys began evasive turns. The escorts dropped to protect them. Tracer fire stitched the sky. Barber's bursts ripped through the lead bomber's right wing. Smoke trailed across the jungle canopy. The plane rolled, clipped a tree, and disintegrated. Yamamoto was thrown clear, still strapped to his seat, hand resting on his katana. He was dead before the wreckage cooled. The second bomber plunged into the sea. 1 P-38 was lost in the fight. The survivors turned for home, fuel needles trembling on empty. Back at Guadalcanal, the mission was recorded simply: 2 bombers destroyed, 1 fighter missing. No mention of Yamamoto. To hide the intelligence success, commanders told the pilots they'd been guided by coast watchers, a cover story that held for decades. On Bougainville, Japanese search parties hacked through the jungle the next morning. They found the wreckage still smoking, the Admiral's body among it. A medical officer's report noted a single bullet wound through the jaw and neck, instantly fatal. The remains were cremated and flown to Tokyo. The announcement of his death came a month later, followed by a national day of mourning and a state funeral on June 5th. Yamamoto's death didn't alter Japan's material odds. Its shipyards couldn't match America's, its pilots couldn't be replaced, but it shattered something intangible. He had been the symbol of competence and calm, the man who had made the impossible seem achievable. Admiral Minechi Koga succeeded him, yet the spirit of the combined fleet never quite recovered. Historian Ian Toll later wrote, "His loss was a wound from which the Japanese Navy never healed. For the United States, it was vindication." A year and a half after the smoke of Pearl Harbor, the architect of that morning now lay among the wreckage of his own command. Operation Vengeance was more than an ambush. It was a message that no distance, no code, and no legend were beyond reach. As Air Force historian Daniel Hallman put it decades later, credit for the kill belongs to Rex Barber, but the victory belonged to the codebreakers. On April 18, 1943, a handful of pilots crossed 400 miles of ocean to shoot down a single man. They changed nothing in strategy and everything in spirit. For Japan, it was the day their greatest admiral fell from the sky.